Hi everyone, and
Hello.
welcome to today's Orchestrator Weekly. Yeah, let's talk about the container images. Don or
Yeah,
Francesco.
so thanks. So basically in the OSPCI, we are using this a Ceph Ansible style, our triple Ansible roles to deploy Ceph NFS instead of using Ceph ADM. And we are basically creating the systemd unit and starting it using the container provided by Ceph. The things we found while we were trying to promote the Pacific Beats to the 16.5 released recently, we found that Ceph NFS is not starting anymore. And it's probably because this new container build is based on the daemon base image instead of the daemon image. This means that the Docker file has no entry point at the end and the start NFS bash script isn't called. This means that when you run the systemd unit, the container image exits without any log or issue, because there's no issue actually. It's just there is no entry point because it's a daemon based image used
Yeah,
for the core daemons.
yeah.
And so this means we cannot use the core daemons image for OSP. We need to rely on the traditional, let's say, daemon images we used in the past. And I was wondering if we can do the same thing for the daemon not base image.
Good work. We are overriding anything. We are when starting the container images, we are setting the entry point. Basically everything that otherwise would have been done within the daemon image. Ceph ADM overrides everything. So you could just continue using the daemon images and
Which is,
things still should work for Ceph ADM.
yeah. And the question is where I can find the daemon image for 16 to 5 bits, because I don't see it, or I'm just messing up because we moved from Quai Ceph IO to Quai IO, and that's probably the reason we are confused on finding the right image.
And will that old image be maintained if we're going to solve the problem by using one versus the other? I assumed one was going to replace the other. So while we can use the old one as a workaround,
Those daemon images are mainly for Ceph Ansible.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that those would eventually go away because Ceph ADM doesn't need any of the entry point bash script stuff in there that's in the daemon image. And neither does Rook. But
so
if you
do
need that,
we,
you need to use the daemon image. Yeah.
yeah. On the Ceph NFS topic, we were talking about keeping those around, or at least doing things the old way for Ceph NFS until we, if you recall, the Ceph ADM Ceph NFS discussion for a future version of OpenStack. Do we wrap keeping those old images into part of the original agreement where we're standing up Ceph NFS, basically using some Ansible calls, and we're going to move to the new way, right? So we can use the old stuff. Should we then keep the old stuff until we can move? Wrap it into that understanding?
Yeah, I'm missing where the old ones went away. Aren't they still being published on? Are they just not on Quay? They're only on Docker?
they should be on Quai. I just pasted the link here in the Blue Jeans chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Francesco, had you had a
Yeah,
look at those?
and so basically 604 is the latest stable we can use. I mean, I'm trying to translate 16 to 5 to this tag, which is mentioned here.
Those are Ansible
Uh,
tags. Ceph Ansible tags.
okay, so but I mean 604 sounds like it's an old image that doesn't know the new bits we backported to Pacific. For example, the Ceph dashboard EP addresses and ports binding we recently added. I'm not sure it's there in this 604 tag. Which means we need probably a new fresh tag
And then
for the daemons.
and will we still get new builds in the old format?
This sounds like a question for Guillaume.
Yeah.
I don't know how
And Dimitri.
these tags
Yeah.
even mean.
Yeah.
Maybe Dimitri is joining later.
He said he
The
could
call
join in
later.
30 minutes, but I think
Yeah.
our call will probably be over then. So maybe we move on.
Yeah. The
But all
only
this
thing we
later.
can just keep in mind is that as long as we have this new daemon tag,
There's Dimitri.
stable tag, oh,
Hey, Dimitri, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Thanks for joining.
hey,
So we have two container formats, or two types of containers, and for Ceph NFS we need the entry point, which the new container format doesn't have. We intend to do Ceph NFS, for which we could use the new containers. But we're not ready to do Ceph NFS the new way yet. So we need a plan to get us by until then. It was suggested we continue to use the old containers. We're just concerned about getting new builds for them. In other words, the old container, if we're going to use the old containers, they would need to be maintained for a little longer. Is it possible to continue maintaining the old containers until we can fully move off of them?
As far as I know, actually the 6.0.x series will continue to be maintained because Ceph Ansible still use it for switching to Ceph ADM. So you will have new release for that.
Okay.
And you have actually 6.0.4, which is the latest one based on 60.2.5. It's available on Docker, on Quay, on all the different registries. The only thing I should mention is that we will probably drop this container past Pacific because Ceph Ansible is not supposed to be used after that. And we will have only the Ceph images. So for Quincy, we won't have these images. But from a triple O perspective, I don't see why you could not change the Ceph NFS role to use the Ceph image. I mean, the entry point is just there to create a directory, start a service, and I think you can do it in Ansible anyway, without a lot of change. But I don't know if you're ready to do that right now. I mean,
we do have a plan to move so that Manila would interface with Ceph ADM, and we But until then, we're sort of doing things the way we did them with Ceph Ansible, just having triple O Ansible call that instead. I don't know, Francesco, if you want to look into switching that so you can use the new container, or if you'd rather. It sounds like we're going to have the Pacific containers for a bit longer. As long as we can get,
I think
we
this
have
is the right way.
We can get a new container, you know.
Right. We agreed at the beginning to avoid having big changes in terms of Ansible because Manila has a long-term plan to move into the Ceph ADM style. So the agreement was that we can just keep the Ceph Ansible style approach to deploy Ceph NFS, and we can keep using the daemon image until the new Manila part is ready. So if it's not a problem for the Ceph community providing daemon images with the stable tags, it's this is the right solution for us. It's the best solution.
Yeah.
Until Manila is ready, and then we can move everything to Ceph ADM, and we can drop this, maintaining this daemon images if it's a big effort.
I mean, I think it's up to you if you want to do the change or not, because at the end you will have to have two different images, one for all the Ceph ADM stuff and the other one for
Ceph ADM. We're keep using the daemon image anyway.
Okay, also. Okay, so keep in mind it would be the latest release using daemons.
In Turbo, we have just one definition for the image and tag, and this is used for all the Ceph daemons, Ganesha included Ganesha.
I worry about divergence over time. Like, we know Ceph ADM is being tested with the non-daemon image, and it works today, but it might diverge. It's like we lose the benefit of the existing testing. It could drift. But that's one risk you know what I mean? It's one thing we got to look out for. But today it works fine, and therefore we'd only use one container. I really don't want to introduce two containers for our users for the triple O user to deal with, like the Ceph NFS Ceph container versus the regular.
At least for the Ceph CI, we are not really building the daemon containers because that's only something for Ansible. So we can't really test the daemon-based containers, the daemon containers in tautology. But as long as those daemon containers just add stuff like shell scripts and entry points and stuff, I don't see a danger of them breaking or diverging too much.
Just for your information, the daemon image is based on the daemon base image, which is the same than Ceph. So it's just a layer on top of the binary only container image, and which adds shell script and stuff like this. So the base will be tested by Ceph ADM and the Ceph CI. The daemon part will be tested by Ceph Ansible, at least for Pacific.
So this plan's probably a good one to hold us until we can move. Right? Francesco, you think it's okay?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is a good plan. Yeah.
Thanks.
So we can just use 6.04 as the latest stable Pacific released content, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And this image will be not this one, but you will have more stable release for 6.0 in the future.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
let's move on and let's talk about LSO.
All right. I just have maybe a quick update there, but maybe some more discussion we could have. So taking the requirements pad that we talked about before and had been written up, meeting with LSO on Friday, they said, hey, can we just get a Google Doc where we can collaborate more on this, on the requirements, and just be clear about everything in a place we can discuss it. So I created that doc. There's a link to it there in the pad. And it's really just trying to kind of flush out the scenarios in a little more detail from what we had in the pad, but the basic requirements are pretty much the same. So yeah, I've already had feedback from Sage and Seb, and so thanks for that. And I think we haven't shared it with the LSO team yet. Just want to make sure we have our own internal thoughts clear on the topic. And then we'll get back to them hopefully on Friday. By Friday, we'll share this doc with them, I think. We think it's ready. Otherwise, I mean, there's still big questions about, is it LSO? Is it Topo LVM? Is it something else? I have not caught up yet with Satoru from Topo LVM. Just been really focusing on the 1.7 release this week. So that's due out by tomorrow, it's looking like. And then I think more focus will turn to this. But yep, that's my update. Thoughts?
We have another requirement, right? And it's compatible to vanilla Kubernetes.
Right. Yeah, in that doc, it covers that too. Like we want it to be an upstream project. It needs to be, so the community can contribute Kubernetes first. And then yes, we'll take it downstream as part of the product, but upstream first.
Did you say Manila session?
No. Vanilla.
Vanilla?
Vanilla.
Without
Kubernetes.
OpenShift.
I see. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Upstream. Right.
Upstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, and LSO guys have also said, yep, they realized that LSO was not created for upstream community just because they knew it wasn't the right long-term solution without dynamic provisioning. Yep. I don't know, Seb, anything you want to add or other questions? Maybe, hopefully we'll have more to update next week. But
yeah, I think the doc, I mean, the current status of the doc is almost good to share. I just hope that everybody will be there on Friday so that we can really discuss with the entire team. Yeah, I think we are just around the what are the goals, not so much about what the solution should be. And I guess the what the solution should be part will be coming in a few weeks, whether it's in LSO, whether it's a new component, or yeah. So it's still, this is really TBD.
The only update from my end is I have a short meeting with Duncan scheduled for Thursday, just to touch base with him.
oh, great.
No,
The product manager?
He's back now.
Yeah.
Okay. Because last time we met, they said they like that Duncan had a similar requirement from the customer to get dynamic provisioning.
Cool. Okay.
So we were like just trying to circle back as well, but yeah, Hammond said he was on PTO because we do also have some customer stories for sure. So hopefully that helps to bump priority on this.
Yep.
That's just your meeting with Duncan Sage, or is that you want to open that up at all, or just
Yeah,
have
I
that
can
initial
invite anybody
discussion?
else. If anybody else wants to join, let me know, and I'll add you to the invite. But do you want to
Sure.
join, Travis?
Yeah, that'd be nice. What time is it at?
It's at 11 Central.
Okay.
You on there?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
Yeah, let's please add me as well. If the time works, I'll see if I can make it.
Yeah, it's just after the rook huddle.
Oh, okay. That works then.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. Um, Anything else we can discuss? Guillaume here? Mm, um, if we don't have any other big topics, we can close early.
I think my question is just what is next? I'm trying to decide what I should be working on for the next couple of weeks. I'm wondering if I should start looking at SMB or if I should switch to something unrelated. Could do the SMR stuff with Blue Store, or whether I should look at the agent stuff. If there's anything I can help with there.
I
I don't know.
think the agent stuff is at least for now taken care by Adam.
Okay. I guess there's raw mode. Could look at raw mode.
Raw mode maybe. So which means that Ceph ADM would use the very same raw mode as Rook would
Correct.
use.
Yeah.
For Quincy and Bayern. At least by default. At least for C-Star, right?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna do it for Blue Store, but yeah. At least for the case where it's like a single device.
Mm.
I think LVs if you're gonna carve it at an SSD or something. But anyway.
At least it to me sounds like a good plan.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll look at that this week. That's a narrow list.
We don't have done anything regarding to Crimson in Ceph ADM. Is there anything that we need to do?
There's a slightly different container image, I think. I can't remember. I don't know what the container image status is. Travis, Sebastian, do you guys know? You guys have been having the Rook Crimson thing. Is it going to go into the same container image, or is it going to be a different image, or what's the plan?
Well, Travis, go with this one because you looked at the container image.
Right. Yeah, for Crimson. So so it's a different build of the container image that has some build flag enabled. So it's the same binary and everything is just a different image with those flags enabled.
Okay.
And so I've been meaning to test the latest one for the last week or two to see what the latest, if it's working any better than it was a couple months ago. But
Okay.
I don't have an update yet. But yeah, same. It looks the same to Rook. It's just a different image with those build flags.
And the arguments for Cephos daemon are slightly different, right?
Yeah, everything looks the same as far as arguments, as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Do you have a link? Or is it an internal container build?
It was on Quay. I think it was just public. Yeah, I'll find it after and share with you.
On the quay.ceph.io you have the container with the suffix -crimson variable.
That's right.
Okay. So it's a -crimson tag for everything.
Yep.
Do we also have a master -crimson tag?
I
No.
don't think so.
No.
It's only on the that one.
Only on the build, right? Yeah. Okay. Do we need to add those crimson images to tautology for Ceph-ADM?
We should make sure it works first.
Right.
But then eventually, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Perfect. Have a nice week.
All right.
And let's think up
Okay,
next week.
thanks.
You
Talk
guys.
later.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.